called a bunch of them.
Really?
Yeah. That'll do.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first ever episode of the Make Do Review podcast. My name is Jack.
And my name is Emily.
And thank you so much for joining us. And this is the Make Do Review, where we just make do with what we got. Currently, we are both graduates of the University for Creative Arts for Acting and Performance BA Honours.
We've just moved to the outside of London, and we are making do with the knowledge we have, the equipment we have, and the time we have to...
Which is a lot. We have a lot of time now.
We do.
And it's very daunting. So thank you for coming. And this is our first ever review of, and the first one is Spider-Man Far From Home, which we saw in July.
I think so.
I think we saw it a week after it came out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge Marvel fan, and Spider-Man is my favorite character of all time.
Yeah, you're a big fan.
Hands down. Hands down. Okay, so let's jump into it. Spider-Man Far From Home, which was released on the 2nd of July 2019 with a runtime of 2 hours and 9 minutes. Returning once again, Tom Holland is everyone's favourite wall crawler, Spider-Man and Peter Parker.
Your friendly neighbourhood Spider-Man.
Friendly neighbourhood. Returning again to direct was John Watts, who also directed Spider-Man Homecoming. And newcomer Jake Gyllenhaal enters the Marvel Cinematic Universe with his portrayal of Quentin Beck, Mysterio.
What a man.
What a man. What a meme.
Yeah.
He's such a meme now.
What a man, what a meme.
The myth, the meme, and the legend. Okay. So the plot of Spider-Man Far From Home, without getting too much into it already, is essentially, it's a couple of months, I think, set after Endgame, where people are getting to terms of the snap, but in Far From Home they call it the blip.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a nice touch. I think it's really funny. It's definitely something that like kids or something will call it. And it shows like time, like the events of like how people just snapped out of existence like during like school, and how they, when they got snapped back in Endgame, they returned exactly where they were.
But 5 years later.
But 5 years later.
Yeah.
So there's people in the school who are grown up 5 years, and then some who returned, such as like Zendaya's MJ and Ned and Peter, obviously, who come back because they were snapped, which is very convenient. But what can you know, it's
movie
like
magic.
What can you do? It's very convenient that Peter and all his friends and Aunt May as well all got snapped or blipped away. So essentially that's happened, and Peter has come to the terms and still trying to come to the realization that Iron Man, Tony Stark, is gone. Very emotional, and once again Tom Holland absolutely brings it. You just feel bad for the boy.
Yeah.
You know, no parents, no Uncle Ben, no Iron Man.
I know, it kind of starts off quite, not bleak, but
sad.
It is showing.
Well, the movie.
That rebuild,
we'll get to the start, how the movie starts, because it's quite funny. So yeah, and it's all about how Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury is coming to Spider-Man and telling him when is he going to step up and be the new Iron Man.
Yeah.
The world needs a new Iron Man. Will it be Spider-Man? And will he step up to it? Whereas Peter just wants to relax and go on a field trip with his science class and, you know, talk to MJ and ask her to be his girlfriend. And then with the newcomer, Quentin Beck, who claims that he is from an alternate reality or universe, and his universe got destroyed by these elemental creatures, and he's come to this universe to stop them so it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
So I'd say that's mostly the plot. So Emily, would you want to give us your spoiler-free review as of now? What did you think of the film?
I thought it was a really sweet film. It's got a real mix of the sad, the grief, and it shows them rebuilding from like the snap following on from Endgame. But it's also really funny. It's just a really light-hearted film, and I think because you're like much more of the Marvel fan, for someone like me who doesn't necessarily get all the inside, things that are put there, very cleverly.
Yeah, like the references and stuff.
It's still really enjoyable, and there's certain like moments in it that I guess you can maybe have seen coming that took me completely by surprise, and so I guess we both enjoyed it in separate ways. But if you're new to Marvel and you're not really sure where to start, like, this is a really sweet film. I think the Spider-Man series is probably a good one to start with anyway.
Yeah. Nice.
I enjoyed it.
Good.
Would see again.
Before I give my initial thoughts, I'd like to just say rest in peace, Spider-Man, as he is no longer part of the MCU. It was made official the other day from actual Tom Holland and Kevin Feige, the producer of Marvel, that the deal with Sony and Disney just completely fell through.
Yeah.
And but Tom Holland still gets to make his. I think he's still got 2 more movies to make, but it's no longer going to be a part of the MCU. So there's going to be no references and no, no other characters in his films, which is the worst thing to ever happen. And it all comes down to money. Both of them wanted money. Both of them didn't get what they want, and then they were just like, do you know what? Nah. And now everyone suffers. They always say it's about the fans. They do what's best for the fans, but this was not that at all.
I think the issue is that this whole storyline has been built up
exactly
intertwining with the Avengers. Nick Fury. It's such a huge storyline, basically, that it's kind of hard to still use the same Spider-Man, Tom, and that kind of,
because it's still not concluded.
No,
like from Far From Home, there was no conclusion.
Yeah,
there was a twist ending.
So to suddenly rip him out of that, and for the Marvel have to continue without him in it, and for them to continue without the Marvel storylines in it, they're both going to seem a little off.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is a shame.
It's a real shame, and I'm fuming.
Yeah.
But what can you do? We were lucky to have Spider-Man in the MCU to get that deal to actually happen, and to get 2 amazing Spider-Man films and all his appearances in Endgame and Infinity War. Anyway,
what was
my thoughts on the film? My thoughts on the film was I loved it. I thought it was really good. I don't think I prefer it to the first one. I think the first one is such a solid film and such a solid comedy as well. That's what I love about the writers in these Spider-Man films. They're funny movies and funny characters, and it's just they've done it so well. But I absolutely love this. I think Jake Gyllenhaal steals the show. He is absolutely fantastic as Mysterio. It was everything I wanted. Tom Holland is just fantastic. He's just such a good actor, and the emotion he brings, and he just doesn't get a break. His character doesn't get a break, and you can really feel that, and it's upsetting. But I loved the film. The ending was fantastic. Like the whole climax, was brilliant, and I loved the twist ending as well.
Mm.
And I love Zendaya in this film. She was great.
Oh yeah.
She was always good, and I'm glad. And their chemistry was fantastic as well. So let's get into spoilers. I think.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler warning. If you have not seen the film, please go watch the film and then come back and continue. Please come back. Okay. So the way the movie starts is like it's quite ominous, and it's like Nick Fury in the desert with Robin Scherbatsky.
Is her character's name in this?
What?
What's her character's name in this?
I can't remember.
Wait, I've got all the characters' names.
I
up
feel
to
like
make
it's
sure we can
Amanda
check.
something. It might not be. I just remember her name being Robin Scherbatsky from How I Met Your Mother.
It's Maria.
Maria Hill.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's Nick Fury, Maria Hill, somewhere in the desert or somewhere. I can't remember where, but they're on a job, and then they come into they run into the Sandman. Whether or not it's the official Sandman character, probably not, but it was a sand creature.
Yes.
Actually, no, it wasn't. Of course it's not, because it's all an illusion.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get into that. And then that was where we first see Jake Gyllenhaal as Quentin Beck. You don't want any part of this. And we see him do his magic.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. I love the effects of Mysterio.
Yeah. And I love the contrast of that scene, and then it just switches.
And then it's the intro where it shows like the Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
And it's the Bodyguard song, and I Will Always Love You. And then it's like the really bad like PNG pictures of like all the characters that are dying.
Yeah.
So it's like really bad pictures of like the Vision, like a really bloody one from like way far out and all that.
It was one of those things where it came up like in a cinema. It's like I'm watching a blockbuster movie in a cinema, and they've had the balls to do that.
I know.
And it was hilarious. It worked so well.
It was. My initial, as soon as it started, I was like, really? They're really gonna do this? But it made sense because it cuts back to those two characters from the first film where they did like the school announcement videos,
and that's what they're doing.
And it was really, and I always loved that from the first one, because it's like really bad green screen effects and all that and it was really funny.
It sucks you into the universe that you're about to kind of be in for the rest of the film.
And then they talk about like the blip, which I thought was a great name instead of the snap, because they don't know. Yeah, they don't know it was a snap, obviously, so they're just like, everyone just blipped out. And then it cuts to Peter and Ned talking, and they're talking about what Peter's going to do on the field trip, how he's going to approach MJ. I love how they cut straight to that. He's like, I'm going for MJ now. You know, she's the one. And he's got this whole plan. And so, and then it cuts to like, what I really liked was the stuff with Aunt May as well. Yeah. Where it cuts to like the charity event, because you forget that she actually found out from the first film. That was the twist ending, that she found out, and like she's like totally cool with it, and she's loving it, like all the press and all that. Yeah. And it's all about like, and then they talk about Peter's spider senses, the Peter tingle.
The Peter Tingle. But what I love about like the whole Peter Tingle and the whole like getting him to do these performances with his aunt and stuff, like it. Yeah. All these little things just make it more real, and also it brings you down to the level
that Peter's
at. Yeah, because rather than him being like this big superhero.
But the thing is, at this point, he's known as an Avenger now. Yeah. Like, because it was an Infinity War where Tony was like, "Right, kid, you're an Avenger. You're here now." And then obviously he came out of the battle So now he's known as like, oh my god, this joke of a superhero who's just like helping people get their bikes back is now like this like next level Iron Man, and he's got the Iron Spider suit as well. But all Peter wants to do now is, oh yeah, because he's getting phone calls from Nick Fury, but he ghosts them, and it's all about like, I just want to go on my field trip and I want to have a good time and I want to like be with MJ.
Yeah, it makes him quite human actually.
It does. He's obviously like, I need a break. This has been a long time, and he's missed like 5 years.
I think it's something we don't always see in these superhero films as well. I feel like the end of Endgame showed it more, but it's that whole thing of, okay, well, they actually have emotions and they have to deal with all the stuff that they've just been through.
Yeah, exactly. Like because they actually lost, and then they lost people. Whereas in a lot of the other Marvel films, not a lot of people would die. It was always like they would somehow succeed. But when that's what was great about Infinity War, when they lost and then it went to Endgame, and then you seen what it done to the whole team.
Yeah.
And then obviously, but Peter missed all that. So it's crazy. So where's the first place to go to again? It was Venice, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, because they're in but they're on the plane first. And there's that great scene with the teacher, and Peter tries to make this plan so he can sit next to MJ instead of this boy who was like a nerdy looking kid, but because he was still alive for the 5 years, he like grew up and got like older and handsome. So everyone's like, why is he here? And it's brilliant. And then Peter tries to make this plan so he can sit next to MJ instead of this like really good looking guy.
Yeah.
And then it all goes wrong because he says he has like an allergy or something to like MJ's perfume or something like that.
Yeah.
And so he gets put next to his teacher, and then he tells this story of like, he's like, my wife pretended to get blipped. We had a funeral for her and everything, but she just wanted to leave.
Yeah, I know.
It was just the most like horrible thing, like that people actually used the blip as an excuse to like.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, my wife pretended that she got
Peter
blipped.
just does not care.
I know, he's just
but
not.
Then what I really like is Ned ends up with that girl. Like they come off the plane.
Yeah, they come off the plane.
Boyfriend and girlfriend, and Peter's just there like,
what?
What?
Because at first they're like not getting along, and then they like share a moment that of the plane turbulence, and they get scared, and then they like touch hands, and then it's like, and then all of a sudden they're like, babe,
yeah,
thanks, babe, and all that. The movie's just so funny. Like, I'm glad they brought that back. The humor is still there, and it's still like really well done.
So they land in Venice.
They get the water taxi to their crummy
flooded hotel, isn't it flooded?
Yeah, it's like flooded. Yeah. And then Peter has this whole plan to get MJ like the black what was it?
The black flower.
Dahlia? Is that what it's called? The
black Dahlia.
The murderer. To get her that, and then when they were gonna be in Paris, he was gonna give it to her in the Eiffel Tower.
So it follows them going through Venice. Peter
then
goes off to get this flower.
Yeah, and then they're all just like talking, then all of a sudden like the water is acting weird. And then all of a sudden it's like the Hydro Man, as he's called. Well, not really, but we'll get into that.
This is where we first see Mysterio and Peter.
Yeah, and he obviously he doesn't know who he is. And then
because Peter has left his suit at home because he doesn't want anything to happen.
He left it in his suitcase.
Yeah.
Oh, and
no, he left it
at home. His
aunt.
Aunt May like put it in his suitcase, and then it's like the flight attendant like looks at it. He's like,
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's our first encounter with Quentin Beck, Mysterio, and Peter. Which was great. He's obviously like, get out of here, kid. And there's like some great moments where like obviously Peter has to find a mask. So he gets one of those like theater masks. And he
Yeah.
has this big feathered mask. So it's brilliant. But the big thing, let's get into the big thing about this movie, is where obviously Nick Fury brings Peter and Quentin Beck together to team up to take down the worst elemental monster, which was the fire one, which destroyed
Yeah.
Quentin Beck's universe. And then there's that whole fight scene. He's in the new stealth suit and everything, and we see when they're fighting the fire elemental monster, that one of the drones, like a drone, knocks off, and MJ finds it, and then they're in a bar together, like chatting. Oh yeah, because there's the whole thing with Tony Stark's glasses as well.
There's just so much.
There's so much. There's so much in this film, and like, it's been a while. It was ages ago since we've seen it, but because there's the whole thing where Tony Stark, Nick Fury gives Peter Tony Stark's glasses, which he had in Infinity War.
Yeah, that he almost then fires a missile at his school bus, isn't he? By accident.
Yeah, exactly. Because he wants to get rid of the boy who's sitting next to MJ.
Yeah.
And it's quite brutal. It's like, did you actually just do that?
I know.
And yeah, it's very strange. And that was something I didn't really like, was even though, because they even made a joke about it, like his glasses were called Edith. It's like, even dead, I'm the hero.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and I was kind of like, this would be the time to move on from Iron Man, because the whole first film was about Peter and Tony Stark and all that. Like, you have to earn the suit and all that. You have to, if you're nothing without the suit, then you shouldn't have it. But then for this film, even though that Tony Stark is gone, is still loads of stuff about Tony Stark, because the big twist is that Quentin Beck actually worked with Tony Stark, and his whole plan was to get the glasses off Peter Parker so that he can control these drones and be able to control all the Stark tech, because he created in Civil War, Tony Stark showed this holographic technology, and he called it BARF. And Quentin Beck did not like that.
No.
So he brings together a whole team who worked with Tony Stark, so that it cuts back to a scene from like Iron Man 1, which I did like. I liked all the Quentin Beck stuff and how he was like, I want my revenge from Iron Man, and I'm going to be the best superhero. So that's his whole plan, is to make him like the next big hero, because Iron Man's gone now, so he's going to take over by fooling everyone with these like drones that show projections of the elemental monsters. So it's all a bit elaborate and crazy, but that was my favorite moment in the film, was when they're in the bar. Peter gives the glasses to Quentin Beck because he says, I'm not ready for this.
Yeah.
So I want a normal life. You are the next Tony Stark.
Because Peter thinks that that's why Tony has given him the glasses. It's not for him, it's to give to the next Iron Man.
For the next Iron Man. And then he comes to the realization that you're the next Iron Man. I'm not. I'm just a kid.
Because obviously you were familiar with Mysterio as a character. For someone like me who wasn't, I saw, how they were all working together and how Mysterio, Jake's character kind of really taken Peter under his wing. And I was so
which was nice.
It was nice, and I was so excited when they had this like heart to heart about how Peter felt he couldn't talk to anyone. And it's nice that he could talk to him and stuff. I thought that Mysterio was going to become like this big new character in Peter's kind of storyline, a bit like Iron Man, but not quite.
Sure.
And so when it like seamlessly kind of peels away this hologram that he's basically put on the bar to show what it's really like and who's actually there, and he starts giving this grand speech about
because
they're doing,
because it was like a big theater show.
It was
brilliant. Like he was an actor essentially, and he's like, all the holograms go away and he's like, see, that wasn't so hard. And he's like, get this thing off me.
It just really like hits hard, and
they were all, and the fact that they were all so excited, like, oh my god, we actually did it. This is gonna work. We pulled it off. That was the best part in the film, hands down. That whole bit with, and then I think the third act is probably the best part, where we've been told that Quentin Beck is a bad guy, which I knew was gonna happen. I was like, there's no way they're going to make Mysterio a good guy. There's no way. And then we get the whole Peter realizes who he is and all that. And he ends up, MJ ends up telling Peter that she knows that he's Spider-Man, which I thought was good. Yeah. I'm glad they got that out of the way. Oh, you're Spider-Man. Like, what? I thought that was good.
The thing that annoyed me though was in the trailer, they showed that little bit, so it annoyed me because I was like, oh, what?
They did,
they've
actually.
Just given away that she finds out. But then it was a slight twist because in the actual scene, she's saying that as a joke, but then she finds out anyway. Like,
no, she knew.
No, she says that it was a joke. Do you remember? She was like trying to pull his leg, but obviously he that and gave it away, and she's like, oh wait, you really are?
Oh, she made a guess, and then she makes the joke like, I was only like 90% sure.
Yeah.
she just guessed.
But I kind of hate that they showed that in the trailer because it's like,
yeah, I forgot they gave that away.
Why would I be excited about this whole build up of their relationship
for some reason
know that's going to happen?
For some reason the Spider-Man trailers always give away too much. But they never gave away the twist, which is nice, the Quentin Beck twist.
Yeah.
And then so the movie I think the movie picks up a bit.
Yeah, it does.
When it gets past that point, because Peter finds out, and then they have this amazing scene where he's fighting Mysterio the first time, and he's going through all these different illusions and holograms, where he sees like he's back in the original like pajama suit and all that, and he's like there's like a shot of him in the New York snow globe. But the best part was when he's at the Tony Stark grave, and then like a skeleton zombie Iron Man comes out. It's like, it's such a cool scene.
It's very Doctor Strange-esque, but we know that it's not.
It's not. Yeah.
The same elements that Doctor Strange uses, but it's got that kind of vibe.
Ever since Doctor Strange, they've been taking a lot more risk with like visual storytelling and stuff like that. I loved it. That whole sequence was, and then he like fools him to thinking that Nick Fury like shot him, and then it's like, okay, we're all good, and then he tricks him, and then he tricks him onto a train line, and he gets run over by a train, like straight up. It's like that quick cut, like train hit, and I couldn't believe it. I was so shocked.
And then Peter wakes up in Amsterdam. Is it Amsterdam?
No, it's like Holland or something like
Somewhere.
that. Yeah, and he's like, everyone's so nice here. It's like, because he's in the jail cell and the people are so nice to him. He gets out, no problem. He just breaks the bars. And then he goes to someone, it's like, can I borrow your phone? And it's like, yeah, no problem. It's like, wow.
And he ends up in a field of tulips.
Yeah. And then it's happy. And there's that funny moment where it's like, tell me only something that you would know about me. And it was like that time when we were away for the in Civil War. We're in the hotel and I was paying for the bill, and they said that I paid for a movie, and it's like, no, I don't even know that. So
Yeah.
that was cute. And
Yeah, because Peter suddenly can't trust his own eyes.
exactly, he can't trust anything now because he's like totally messed with his mind now.
Yeah.
And then he gets Happy on board. They like talk about Tony and all that, and it's a very nice scene because obviously Jon Favreau was he directed the first Iron Man and starred in the first Iron Man, so it's really cool that they're keeping him on board, and he's like making appearances.
Yeah, because Peter then makes that new suit with the Stark technology.
Yeah, exactly.
And they head to London, don't they?
Yes,
where the rest of the kids have gone to as well.
Exactly. They got. I think they like changed their flight so they ended up in London.
Which is all Mysterio. Mysterio's
yeah, exactly. He's
done that on
changed.
purpose.
Yeah, exactly. Because he wants to kill some of them. I think he wanted to get rid of like MJ and Ned, and Ned's new girlfriend, whose name escapes me.
Yeah, because Peter's told them who Mysterio really is.
Exactly. They know, so he has to get rid of him. So he creates an Avengers level dangers, like something like that. It's like this is an Avengers threat level or something like that. And he's in Tower Bridge. He's in like the full like CG suit, which I loved.
Yeah.
He just has like the fishbowl and the microphone on him, and then like a trackpad on his arm, and then he's got the full like grey CG suit, which I thought was hilarious. Instead of like his costume's fake and everything.
Yeah,
it's just all
it's not
the
even
drones.
him, really, is it?
No, not at all.
Fighting it is.
No, it's just a hologram.
And at this point, Nick Fury and Maria Hill don't know that Mysterio.
No, and Happy
is the bad guy.
Yeah, Happy has to make a call, and it was like, "Oh, there's a surfboard here. And I was wondering if it was yours." And it's like we, and then it's the whole like, "Oh, I guess you can just never tell." Like who a person is or something like that, and it's like a little wink to Fury, like don't trust Beck.
Yeah.
And then it's the whole climax. Peter comes down. He finally realizes that everything he was fighting is not real, so he has to convince himself. And then he flies, like he glides into like the chaos.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's not real, and he gets inside, and it's just all the drones.
Yeah.
And he's made this plan where he gets these electric webs and sticks it to all the drones, and which is really cool. The whole London bit was pretty great.
And his classmates are on this double-decker tour bus,
yeah,
right in the middle of Tower Bridge,
yeah,
with this huge like
storm
basically. Yeah, is destroying everything.
Yeah. And then, because the bus driver just walks out.
Yeah.
and then they're just like, oh.
And then, because then Happy goes to find them, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he goes to find them, and there's that moment where they're like, "You work for Spider-Man?" And they're like, "No, I don't work for him. I work with him."
Yeah. And then his jet blows up, and they end up in where's the
Tower?
Yeah,
Tower of London.
Tower of London, and they're in like the vaults.
They get all the medieval armory and stuff, don't they?
Oh, and there's that great moment where Happy he tries to throw the shield at the drone, and he just completely messes up.
Yeah.
He's like, how does Captain America do that? So that was all cool. So, and then there's the whole bit where Peter's in Tower Bridge. He's going to fight Mysterio. And then it's the whole bit where he's like, come on, Peter Tingle, this has to work. And it's obviously to do with like confidence and he's lost his like ability.
Trusting himself.
Yeah. And there's like, it's just that really cool scene where he's just like running through the bridge and he's like attacking all the drones. He knows where they're coming from and all that.
He finally because he can't, although he can't see them, he can know where they are.
He knows where everything is. He's got his spider sense back, which is pretty cool. And then defeats Quentin Beck with a cool moment where he tries to trick him one more time, and he has a gun to his head, and he grabs the gun off him.
Yeah.
He's like, you can't fool me anymore. Gets the glasses from him, calls off the drones, asks Edith, is this real? And she's like, yes, this is real.
Yeah.
And then it's all good.
He finally gets rid of Beck,
Yeah.
doesn't he?
Mysterio, no more. And then Peter meets up with MJ on the bridge. It's a very sweet moment.
She's got, what is it? Some sort of club or something medieval.
Oh, yeah. With the spikes.
Yeah, that's it. To help him just in case.
Yeah. She's like, I brought this.
She tosses it to the side.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a cute moment. Earlier on, Peter gave the necklace to Happy, but it got destroyed. And Happy gave it to MJ. And it's a sweet moment. And they share their first kiss.
They do.
It's really cute. It's like the awkward kiss, and then they finally properly kiss. And it's super sweet. Great chemistry. I love them too.
And then they end up back in New York.
New York. Yeah. So the end credits. This is what everyone was talking about.
Oh, okay.
The end credit scene.
This was so good.
Yeah, the end credit scene where Peter and MJ are swinging. He's swinging her through New York, showing her how he does it, having a good time. She did not like it at all. She hated the swinging. And then Peter's like, right, gotta go save the day. And then a news broadcast comes out in Times Square or wherever it was. And we get to see the OG J. Jonah Jameson. I couldn't say that. Who was played by J.K. Simmons. He made a return, which was incredible. He was the original J. Jonah Jameson. It's such a good thing to see. He was bald this time. And I wonder if it was like a reference to the game as well, the Marvel Spider-Man PS4 game, because J. Jonah Jameson, obviously he worked for the Daily Bugle, but it was like an online podcast kind of thing, which I might have been a reference, but that was a great moment. And then it cuts to a video of Quentin Beck saying like, Spider-Man's the villain, he's trying to kill me, I can't stop him and all that. Because it basically shows it's twisted. Yeah. Peter wearing the glasses telling the drones to stop the attack, but he's twisted it to make it look like he's commanding the attack. Yeah, like fire the drones or something. And then he's just killed Mysterio, who was trying to stop him. Exactly. And then the big twist is like Spider-Man's real name is, but it cuts out. And it's like, oh, thank God. Cuts back in. Spider-Man's real name is Peter Parker. Bam. Picture of Peter Parker. Cuts to Spider-Man. Head in hands. What the fuck? Yep. Cuts. Credits. Amazing. What a twist. But it might not get resolved. This is what annoys me. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen now. It's been so built up with all these different storylines throughout all the different Marvel films. And then this one in particular, it's just had this massive reveal. I almost stood up from my seat. I was like, what? Yeah, it was that good. I audibly like gasped. Yeah. You know, like, yeah. Yeah. It was such a good ending to a great film. I have to say, it was such a good film to follow up Endgame. 100%. It was funny. It was, it was. But it had the right vibe for a Spider-Man film. Exactly. It felt like the first film, and it was just the perfect way to continue. I love what they did with the snap and all that, and Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio was fantastic. But I feel like it did have its problems and stuff. I thought it was a bit slow at some points, and some of the CG looked a bit off, I felt. But overall, it was a great film. Yeah. But will we get to, will we get to see what happens next? Well, I think if we don't get to see what happens next, it will make this film feel a little bit Yeah.
Like, what was the point?
I mean,
I mean, it has a point. It had a point.
It had a point. It had a massive point. So much happened. So like Peter got MJ, his spider senses. It stopped Mysterio. The twist at the end, you know, and then.
But I have to say, the whole thing with other universes seems to be brought into it a lot more.
But it was fake.
It was fake.
Which was annoying because everyone thought it was going to be like the Spider-Man multiverse, the Spider-Verse, like the animated film, and they were going to bring in different Spider-Men.
But the fact that he claimed to be from a different universe and they believed him makes me wonder if Marvel is open to the fact that there's other universes and they're going to start bringing this in.
Because I think the new Doctor Strange film is I think its name is called like the multiverse of something. I can't remember, of chaos or something. Chaos of the multiverse.
So that's something we've got from this film that Marvel will probably hopefully be able to continue with.
Who knows? Okay, so Emily.
Yes.
What would you give Spider-Man Far From Home out of 5 stars?
I would say a solid 4. It's a film that links in really well with all the other films. It's really feel good. You really see Peter grow as a character, and Tom plays him so well. It's definitely a film that I would like rewatch again and again and still enjoy. So I have to give it a 4.
Yeah. I think I would give it a 4 too.
It didn't blow me away like a 5, but it's a solid 4.
It's a solid 4. I agree, 100%. A 4 out of 5. I would give Homecoming a 4.5.
Okay.
But I would give this a 4. I think Homecoming's better than this film, but it's not a bad thing. I think it was really good, and it had a lot of great moments. What are you doing? Dropping your phone.
Sorry.
But yeah, that was our review of Spider-Man Far From Home. Please let us know what you think of the movie.
And also let us know if you have any films that you would like us to review, new, old, TV shows.
Yes. You can email us. You can email us at themakedopodcast@gmail.com and give us any requests of movies and TV shows, or even any theater shows you would like us to see.
Us actors.
As actors.
We'll go.
Yes.
If we have money.
You could, if you wanted to pay for the tickets and meet us there.
Yeah.
So thank you for listening, and this was our first episode of the Make Do Review.
Hope you enjoyed it.
My name is Jack.
My name is Emily.
And that'll do.
That will do.